And we are very, very happy to have our friends from Sweep the Rack join us today here on the Inside Bowling Show. Welcome to the program, Big Mike and Rob.
Fellas, what's good?
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, I just had to ask because we've been beefing with these people from the cornhole community, and cornhole's been on ESPN, and I made some comments on Twitter, and these cornhole cornballs come out of the woodwork and start beefing with the bowling community on Twitter. And yeah, I'd say, listen, I need cornhole off of TV. I need bowling back on. That's why I asked.
So guys, let's get into the PBA League draft. Last night,
I had some observations about Bill's comments. I mean, he was totally out of line. He talked about Barnes getting dropped from his own team. He commented on people's appearances. He asked Ryan Simonelli to show him his forearms, which is kind of questionable. He asked Dick Allen to change his name back to Richie. He accused the Ballards, bowling legends, of collusion. I mean, my man, it's my guy, but he was out of line. Listen, I do think it was overhyped a little bit. Let's be honest, the PBA League is like an exhibition event to a degree. Yeah, I want to talk about the picks. Amleto Monacelli, come on, man. What the hell are you doing, son? Let's talk. My neck's
hurting. I was shaking my head all night and morning. I want to get into it right now with this number one pick because it's been driving me crazy and I've been itching. How they passed up on Sean Rash is just, it's like almost Sam Bowie all over again.
The expansion teams are supposed to suck for a year or two. That's part of being an expansion team. You remember the Florida Marlins? Who was the best guy on the Florida Marlins the first year? You don't know. You know why? Because the guys suck. Because they were an expansion team. So that's kind of the way it's supposed to be. So to see an expansion team with Sean Rash, Ryan Simonelli, and wait, Dick Allen, they got like the MVP of Bayside. They get Dick Allen too.
Yeah,
I mean, my goodness,
I know.
Listen, Amleto Monacelli may have handed Marshall Holman the title just through this draft. Yeah, I even wrote down I think Marshall goofed it a little bit with the last pick. Yeah, a lot of talent on the board there.
Yeah,
Rob, what do you think?
I think that they were definitely the benefactors of Amleto. I don't know, doing his best New York Jets drafting impression.
Who do you think is going to be in the finals, and who do you think is going to win this league?
I'll go first. It's going to be Dallas Strikers is going to be playing the Silver Lake Atom Splitters, and I'm going to take the Dallas Strikers. I kind of feel like their team is just too solid.
I'll take Dallas Strikers and the new Brew City Brawlers. I'll take Brew City over Dallas, actually.
I think I'm sticking with what I said last night. I think that the Dallas Strikers are going to be victorious in the PBA League this year.
Yeah, and I got the Brew City Ballers over the New York City Kingpins. But what I know about Gup is he has 8 titles on the PBA Tour. He's got a monster number of regional titles. He's won 41 times at the regional level on the PBA Tour. But let's go ahead and let's get ready to bring in our guests. Let's bring in Kyle and Guppy Troup to today's Inside Bowling Show. Welcome, gentlemen, to the program. It's awesome to have you guys here.
How y'all doing?
Now, I have to ask up, those glasses have become quite famous on TV shows. What's the tent for there? Is that just for looks, or is there a purpose behind the tent on the glass?
Well, I've got like 5 pairs left of them now, and some are dark and some are white. But none, this is just something to wear during the day.
He was cool. He thought he was cool back in the day with the colored lenses.
And I was.
A lot of people say that Pete Weber, with the eyewear on television was the pioneer of this. I'm wondering if maybe he took something from you.
Well, I hope he did. It was just we had I got 42 regionals, not 41.
Yeah, he's all.
Yeah. But anyway, change that 42.
Is it true that you got the name Guppy from bowling in a youth league on a team that was called the Guppies?
Yeah, the youth league. Geez. I started bowling when I went down with Mom during the summer in the afternoons when she bowled league, and then I started bowling when I was 8 years old. And then we just joined the league and named the team as the Guppies, and I just figured it was a good, catchy name, and I kept it. And then legally, I am John Douglas, but I've never changed it legally to Guppy. which is something I should do before I die.
If that team name would have been like the Strikers or something like that.
Yeah.
That one change in life would change so many things throughout bowling. I mean, that's pretty cool.
No, it surprised me. I just figured it'd be a catchy name, if I ever became if I ever became a pro bowler.
How'd you get that hair?
So until it was I found this out during quarantine. I always thought Guppy had an afro back in the day. Well, he had to perm his hair to get an afro. So I don't know where this hair's come from. I mean, Guppy always said the mailman was black down in Florida. I never really got that as a young kid. But
what'd you guys think of this PBA League draft on Sunday night?
Well, we actually watched it together. We had it hooked up on the big TV, and I was on a Zoom call with Timmy and Wes and Prather. And as far as for the team, it couldn't have went any better for us. Those guys were at the top of our list, and Martin and Packy.
I would love to host a Bachelor show on here, and
I think we can make that happen.
I would. It would be very entertaining.
Got a lot of positive feedback coming in here. A lot of people want to see this happen.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna do it. I know Coley pushes me all the time. You gonna be on The Bachelor? Yeah, sure, Coley. Yeah. I don't think they want a guy with an afro on there, but hey.
Well, perfect. It's perfect because Mike is trying to take credit for your successful PBA Tour victory because he ran one tournament. And then when you get put on the Real Bachelor,
put my life together and find me a wife.
Yeah, Mike will take credit for you getting on the Real Bachelor and you finding romance.
You're probably gonna like send me messages and blackmail me to name my kid Mike.
Yeah, oh yeah. And so, without further ado, let's get to our guests, the people that everybody actually wants to see, as opposed to Mike and I. The people that are going to make the show way better today, and probably make it this yet another amazing episode. PWBA superstars and bowling influencers, and I say that and I mean that. Miss Verity Crawley, Diana Zavalova, and Daria Payuk.
Hey guys.
How did this friendship between the three of you start?
Well, Daria and I, we go back to the European days where we used to bowl like youth championships and European bowling tours, and we would just catch up then. But the funny thing is the three of us during the college days, we actually weren't that close, I think. And then we became super, super close on tour. So, and apparently Verity and I, we met in 2008, 7, but we didn't know at the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I find it interesting on the PWBA tour. There's a bit of a trend with changing ball companies. That is a recipe for success.
Yeah, I think it's really a change in mindset, and I think that's what makes the difference. Is you put those new bowling balls in your hand, and it almost just gives you the confidence that you're going to succeed. Yes, you could have done that with the previous ball company, but I think it's just that self-belief that you almost get by just having that big change.
And I think that every ball company has really good bowling balls. So I think it's just a matching up, because obviously every company has like their tendency in a ball motion. Like, for example, Brunswick has something, different than what Storm has. And just for certain styles, certain, bowling balls match up better, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of gonna talk about what we were just talking about. We also want to kill the stigma of how the women should bowl. And from my own experience, when I was like 12, 13, 14, I had a coach who made his USBC bronze level back in the day. So he was coaching me to be the straight player, play with the glove. And back then I already knew it wasn't who I was. And I feel like a lot of girls still in the country or around the world are still feeling like they have to bowl the certain way, because that's how all the female bowl. Like, oh, that's the second arrow, put the glove on. That's how you should bowl. I feel like our games are so different, and we still managed to become successful, that the girls can hook it, and we're basically showing that it works and it can be done. So if we can do it, the young girls that are watching us, they have something to go for. Like, wow, I can also hook the ball. Like, I want to do it, but maybe I can do it better than them. When I'm their age, I'm gonna be the player of the year, and I'm gonna be so great because I have somebody I looked up to when I was younger, but I want to be better than them. So it's just showing people that there's no boundaries really. You can be whoever you want, and it happened that three of us have very powerful games, and we want to spread them.
Yeah, let's bring him in, and he can just go ahead and introduce himself.
Hi, today on the show, we welcome the Kevin Hart of bowling. He's funny, and he's overexposed. Here's Bill O'Neill. And I can't really do shows in different parts of the house because this is the only place where I can get quiet. Is in my basement. So you might even be able to hear the ramblings upstairs right now of just the kids running around all day. It sounds like they just constantly are dropping things.
You know, that area right above your head there where it looks like maybe there's like an air duct in your basement up there. You've got some really good advertising opportunity up there, some good space.
You're right there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. How much would you charge inside bowling for a sign somewhere up in that area?
Well, you missed the boat, I think, because I think I'm all out of interviews.
Have you talked about the topic of the PBA news yesterday that we did a special show on about these events that are coming up that you're a part of?
No. You want to get into that? I'm excited to be back bowling. Next question.
So June 6th, you got to be in Florida and you're in Pennsylvania. How are you going to get there?
I'm going to fly. There is no chance that I'm driving 17 hours each way in like a 3-day span.
Who would you think would be the favorite to win? Who should everybody go put their money on?
Oh, you want me to set the odds?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I'd be like 40-1.
I'm putting all my money on Bill then.
Yeah. And then I would bet on myself. That's how I would do it.
There, right?
Oh, and to get to Big Mike, I'd like to address something that made me laugh about Big Mike is that he said right before you guys started doing everything, that the draft was really overhyped. Everything about the draft, it was overhyped. Meanwhile, he was on doing mock drafts on other shows and then spent an hour on your show dissecting everything about the draft. What's overhyped? You haven't shut up about it in a week.
Bill, you want to introduce the main guest of today, the big attraction?
Yeah, come on up here, bud.
Okay.
We got number. What do you got there today? Number 6 from the Philadelphia 76ers. That is who's that? Who's on your jersey?
Dr. Julius Irving.
Okay, so we're really excited to have you on the show today, Gavin. Thanks for making some time for us today. We know you have a really busy schedule.
And we've been playing. Do we play any? We've been playing any games? What have we been playing? Battleship.
So, like a month or two ago.
Oh, so we played Battleship a month or two ago.
Oh, nice.
If we ask Gavin,
I beat him once.
I do nothing for him or with him if you ask him.
What's going on in the video game world in your household?
Tell him. What are we playing?
2K20.
Yeah, who wins?
Does he actually beat you?
Sometimes, yeah. Well, first of all, I'm terrible at video games. I'm terrible. It's so bad. That's why I don't play video games, because I'm so bad.
And I'm great.
That's how when we practice outside, we got a hoop in the driveway, and he's always goofing off and shooting, and I try to get him to shoot like Clay. Get his shoulder square, right? Yeah.
Boom, just like that.
What does Ben Simmons have to do to become a better player?
I mean, probably keep practicing his free throws and probably try to work on his threes and just try to drive to the basket and not just be scared of getting blocked.
Our time, I know your time is precious and you've got things to do like relax. Anything you wanted to tell the viewers at home that's really important to you?
I mean, stay safe and keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, my man. Good job.
I'm just going to go over there and play some basketball.
Sounds good. All right.
Do all those things online and be quiet.
You and I were discussing maybe a rapid fire segment here where Matt and I could go back and forth and name a bowler, and you could basically tell us why they aren't better than they actually should be.
Tom Doherty. Tough because his game is what it is. Too heavy. Too heavy. Too heavy. Too heavy.
Let's bring him in now. Let's bring in Amleto Monacelli and Bob Learn Jr. Almost got to pinch myself having this much bowling royalty on the show today. Welcome, guys, to the program.
Well, thanks for inviting us in.
Thank you for having us in your great show. One of the things that's very important for me as a coach, as a captain or manager of the team, is to know who I'm picking as far as like a bowler. When I pick Richard Tees, it's just because I bowled with him many times. I know he's won some tournaments in Europe. He's good with team players. And at the same time, bowling with him, he's a really fighter. He's a grinder. He's really good. He never gives up. And then Ildemaro Ruiz. Ildemaro has been bowling with me for many years with the Venezuelan team. He's really good team player. I mean, more inspirational than him does not exist. When you're on the lanes, no matter how bad things can go, this guy is always, pumping up the team. And this is the type of guys that I wanted to have because I know them. A lot of bowlers out there that I could have picked, we talked about it before. But to me, it's a lot about the chemistry. To me, it's not only being great players. I want people that are great outside the lanes. And for what I know of these guys, the little that I know, they do have those things that I wanted to have.
Do you know what your lineup could potentially look like? Do you have an idea in your mind, if all the stars aligned, what your lineup would be?
Well, if I have to say it right now, Lavoie would be, my anchor. Starting, it would be Richard. I would say, actually, I would like Anderson to start up, and then AJ Johnson. And it would be Ildemaro, third. Fourth, it would be Richard, and Frank Lavoie would be the last guy.
I wish I could just one day wake up and go, I don't want to be fat, so I'll just draw the line and just not eat sugar anymore. That's
well, that's the difference between a podcast host and a two-time PBA Player of the Year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm feeling myself today.
That was a low blow, right? That's how you say it, low blow.
Yeah, low blow.
But my second favorite telecast of all time is you, Bob Learn Jr. And it's a 1996 Flagship Open in Erie, Pennsylvania at the Erie Civic Center.
You went on, for anybody that doesn't know, you went on to not only just break the 3-game record on television, but to absolutely destroy it. Were you just like in another world, just like unconscious, just throwing, not even thinking? Did you have to move at all throughout the show? Did you just stand in the same spot the whole time? What was the experience like?
Well, after the 300, we had a big break because, they gave the $100,000 check and all that other stuff was going on, and a little interview. And then we had to start back up. And I went flat 10, strike flat 10, and we went to break. And my wife, she spoke to me and she goes, okay, I know you're excited. You just shot 300 and $100,000. I mean, this is incredible, but you want to win. I said, yeah, I know. She goes, well, think about this before you throw your next shot. So I went back into my bags and I picked out the ball that was a little cleaner, that didn't burn up as much. And I finished the day with it. So I struck out that game with a different ball. And then I went on to finish the day with that ball. So took a gamble, but she kind of woke me up out of my trance, out of my, being in the zone, and said, hey, wait, it's been clearly here, I know you're all cut up in the moment, but let's win this. And so she really kind of helped me make the right decision.
Hey everyone, thanks for checking out our show. What an awesome week we had discussing the PBA League Draft with Big Mike and Brooklyn Rob from Sweep the Rack, guests Guppy and Kyle Troup, Diana Zaviabila, Verity Crawley, Daria Payok, Bill O'Neill, Bob Learn Jr., and Amleto Monacelli. If you like the show, be sure to check us out Monday through Friday on Facebook Live and our YouTube channel. Also, if you missed any of our past shows, you can watch them on YouTube as well as podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Play. Lastly, I'd like to thank all of our guests who came on the show. Without them, we wouldn't have a show. And of course, Matt and I would like to thank all of you listeners for watching and participating during our show.